Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's Caden. Today I want to tell you all about Arizona property taxes. Why our taxes are so much lower than other states. It's a question I get a lot from people that I help coming in from these other states that have such high property taxes. And to preface this video, I just want to let you know I am not a tax professional. I am not a county assessor. I am not a CPA. I have no professionalism in the world of taxes. I'm just making this video to kind of simply explain some of the taxes that I see every day. I'm a licensed real estate agent here in Phoenix Valley of Arizona, and I just want to explain to you why our taxes are so much lower than a lot of these other states that you are probably coming in from. Now, one of the reasons our property taxes are so much lower is we do have some regulations, some legislation in place to regulate our property taxes. One of the laws being that if it's an owner-occupied home, it just regulates the actual tax rate that you can be taxed upon. So here in Arizona, our average property tax rate is about 0.51%, compared to a lot of other states that are in the 2s and 1%. We're much lower. We're actually top 10 to 15 depending on where you are in the state for lowest property tax rate. The other law we have in place just regulates the limited property value, and all that is just the number that you're actually taxed upon. I'll explain that here in just a second. I'll pull up an example, but this law just says that your limited property value can't exceed more than 5% each year. So it can't grow by more than 5%, which really regulates how much, when the property values are growing so much, it really helps keep the property taxes low so you don't have to overpay on your taxes just when your asset appreciates and makes money for you. Now I want to shift my focus over to my computer screen here. So this is an example. This is a 1,400 square foot home listed at $400,000 right now. It was built in the 80s, and this is in Phoenix, so it has a central location, a very, starter home, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. You can see we're in 2023 here, so last year's taxes, 2022, they've already been assessed and paid. But you can see here, we have a full cash value, and then we have the LPV, the limited property value, and then the tax amount. You can see, so last year for this $400,000 home, they paid $963 in taxes. And the reason they paid so little is here in Arizona, we're actually taxed on our assessed value rather than purchase price. I know in a lot of other states, you're taxed on the purchase price. So if somebody bought this home for $400,000, they would be taxed on that full $400,000. Here though, we are taxed based on assessed price. So they come up with a full cash value, and they get full cash value and LPV total and all of that just from running it through their computerized data on neighborhoods and things like that. They have a software that runs all of that, and they do all that work. You can actually dispute your assessed value. You can hire a lawyer and get your assessed value down, which then lowers your property taxes for that year. It's not too common here in Arizona just because of how low our property taxes already are. You hear a lot about that in Texas, New York, Illinois, where property taxes are a lot higher. So you can see on this, the LPV total, it never exceeds, it never goes up by more than 5% each year. You can see it's getting close just because the last couple of years we've seen a lot of property value, so it's only going up about 4.9%. It is getting really close. And then, of course, they have ratios that they multiply it by depending on the neighborhood. And so these people are paying, about $1,000 a year. This is a year for their 1,400 square foot, $400,000 home. Now, question might be, well, what about a newer home in a newer neighborhood? So now I want to shift your focus over to this other home. You can see in 2020, it had no taxes other than the land. In 2021, again, no taxes other than the land. It was finished built in 2021. And then in 2022, they had their first year of taxes. So this is a brand new home in a newer neighborhood, obviously. Just got finished being built 2021. They paid their 2022 taxes, and you can see their full cash value, $187,000. This home was sold for $415,000. So their full cash value was again less than half of what their purchase value was, and then their limited property value 159. Multiply that by the ratio that the assessor is using, and they're paying $1,200 a year. So even on a newer home, a home built 2 years ago, their first year of property taxes was $1,200 a year. That might come to a shock to a lot of you guys that are out of state paying higher property taxes, but our property taxes here in Arizona are very low, especially if you're going to go into an age-restricted community. Their property taxes are typically even lower because you're not funding schools. You don't have to pay any of your property taxes to schools, so your property taxes are even lower. Now you can see full cash value and limited property value. Those are numbers that the assessor gets from just their computerized data of your neighborhood. Those are numbers you can dispute because you are taxed upon those numbers, but they just kind of have their own algorithms on how they get those numbers. Now, again, you can dispute your property taxes if you think that they assess some of these values wrong. You can hire a lawyer. Normally, they charge just a percentage of what they save you, but here in Arizona, since the savings might be a little smaller, they might charge you a bit more. But you can dispute these numbers if you think that the government kind of messed up on the ratios that they multiplied you by, or you compare it to your neighbor and you think you're overpaying. Feel free to hire a lawyer and get your taxes a little bit lower. Now, if you have any questions about what the move is like here to Arizona, or any questions on these taxes, I can refer you to a CPA for the questions on the taxes, but I can't help you to the move out here to Arizona. I hope this video was of help to you if you are kind of questioning how our Arizona taxes work. We go off of assessed value, not purchase price. We have a lower tax rate, and we have a few laws in place that make our taxes not go up too much each year. That's kind of the gist, how we keep our taxes so low. I am a licensed realtor here in Arizona. I've got a free living in Arizona guide. If you're interested in that, I can send it over to you. Just reach out. But other than that, if you need help moving here, feel free to give me a call, and you have a good rest of your day.